And in 3, 2, 1. It's the Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast coming to you live on Double C TV.
Intro.
Featuring Darren.
Oh god, we're doomed.
And Double C. Wrestling gets you laid. Gotcha. As they take on 5 hours of WWE programming.
I'm pretty sure he fudged it just while he was doing the Hurricane Run. Like, oh god, I don't know how to do this correctly.
Yes. Brand new intro.
Oh, I was wondering what that was there.
Stop it. Stupid.
Aw.
Okay, there we go. Oh, technology. Working out bumps.
Aw.
Anyways, yes, we are live streaming on twitch.tv/double-C at, well, double C TV, and all that good stuff.
We're actually moving up in the world.
Yes, this is not like Smackdown. This is more like Raw, where it's live.
Oh, such a segue and an analogy. I think this was a wrestling podcast or something.
Yes, it is a wrestling podcast. And so we have SmackDown and a Raw to take care of, a review sort of thing. And 2 interesting shows, each in their own special way.
Special is a nice word to put it.
Yeah, especially SmackDown.
Yeah.
Did you actually see SmackDown this week?
Yeah, I saw SmackDown.
I knew something was fishy when they said it was a live SmackDown. But it's live social media SmackDown. That's what they said. That's so SmackDown from the 1st and Old School Raw on the 4th of March. Let's get this started.
Oh, by the way.
Yes.
You know how many times... I'm going to say this right ahead. As many times I took a drink when they said Old School in that show, I could barely stand afterwards.
Wow.
So they said... So that's a big thing, first off. When they mean old school, they mean shouting in your face old school.
Yeah. So... Okay. I just gotta check one thing, make sure things are going. Yeah, okay. Good. Awesome. Yes, SmackDown. So, they say that this is a live social media thing. They're halfway correct on this. Only slightly.
I was gonna say, a lot of what SmackDown's didn't seem like social media to me. All it seemed like was, like, just a few things. I thought, honestly, if they did the social media thing, it would be literally, who would be facing off against who, send your tweets to who you think is gonna wrestle next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right away, you can tell that there's one major problem with this whole thing.
My, what could it be?
It's on Friday.
Yeah.
They taped SmackDown with most of the commentary in on Tuesday so they can get the main event thing. And then they superimposed all the live social media stuff, including a few sound bites, like a news story about a guy who quit the PGA Tour because of toothaches or something. I don't even remember, but that happened on Friday, and they decided to insert that to make it more live and relevant.
Ah, so it's fake live, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Live in the sense that somebody is just drawing things on top.
Yes, that's exactly what the SmackDown was. So,
yeah, I kind of figured that as well. Something just didn't feel right.
Yeah. So, let's start this...
But that's more technical issues. Let's actually talk about the performances themselves.
Yeah, okay. So, on SmackDown, the show starts with Alberto Del Rio, and he has a match.
Yay!
I thought he was going to talk first, but no, he wrestles first. So we have...
Which actually is surprising, because normally, people talk before they wrestle nowadays.
Right.
It's not up, you get a straight-up match first.
Yes. However, there is talking, because he faces Damian Sandow, and Damien Sandow calls Del Rio dumb, and then Del Rio retorts with a poop joke.
Ha ha! High sense of brow comedy right there. Just proving that point that he's dumb.
Yes, very dumb. And poop-filled
Juvenile.
mouth.
Juvenile, I think, is the word.
Yes. So, in a relatively quick squash match, whatever, Damien Sandow taps out. No one really cares.
Yeah, this match... Yeah, it was a squash match beyond all recognition.
Mm-hmm. So, after that... Oh, go ahead.
This must be telling me that angle with R-Truth versus Damien Sandow is not working out.
No. Then we go backstage with Team Hell No, Kane and Daniel Bryan.
And we get some shenanigans from them. Oh my!
Yes, their shenanigans consist of... basically, they're doing a role reversal of what happened Monday. For those of you who don't know, on Monday, it was Daniel Bryan was blindfolded and Kane had one hand tied behind his back. This time they're going to reverse those roles, so Kane's going to be blindfolded and Daniel Bryan will have one arm tied behind his back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how long to the match we get to? But I think there's a few matches before that, isn't there?
Yeah. Match number 2, The Miz versus Antonio Cesaro. Best 2 out of 3 falls for the U.S. title match. Title. Now, incidentally, I'm starting to call the title the U.S. title again, mainly because of the prestige that Antonio Cesaro has actually brought to the title. It feels like a mid-card title, not a low-card title anymore.
Thank God for that.
So I heard it's like, 2 out of 3 falls. What can go wrong?
Yeah. The first part of this, before the first pin, was decent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Cesaro wins the first fall by pinfall.
And then it goes downhill.
We go to commercial. Apparently, if you had the WWE app and the second screen experience, you would know that The Miz got the second fall via submission.
Because that's such a good thing to promote.
And
hey, if you want to actually see our matches, you gotta buy shit first before we actually show you on the show that we're supposed to show you the matches.
Technically, it's free, but whatever. Semantics.
It's a cop-out, dude.
I realize that, and I am complaining just as much as you are about it. Because the Miz puts Cesaro back into figure 4 when we come back from commercial, and Michael Cole goes, "Oh, is Cesaro gonna tap out? Is Miz gonna win the title?" I go, "Wait, what? Did I miss something?"
We get whiplash so badly. I was more pissed off at the fact that, oh, come on! We couldn't see any little bit more of that match in between before we got to the figure 4?
Oh. So, the way this match ends, Cesaro rolls up The Miz and has a handful of tights to retain the title.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm still...
The first part of this match was the best.
Yeah.
It went downhill. It turned into a quick, jobber match right after that.
Yeah. However, I do enjoy Cesaro as champion much better than The Miz, so...
I do.
I'm satisfied.
But it just feels like there's no there's no chance of him losing it, if you get my understanding.
Yeah, it is, but I don't know.
I would, you gotta have a little bit of more of a threat. That makes things interesting.
But Miz The Miz has a movie.
Oh yeah, the Marine 3. A sequel of a sequel that he doesn't even star in.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even star in either one of those. He's actually the first one to star in this one.
Yeah.
And also, I'm pretty sure. I actually see the trailer for this. He is pretty much full beard with the full stubble hair when he comes right off the bus. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have that if you were in the military.
No.
I know a few people who are from the military, and they would smack you across the head if you see any stubble on their face. My thought is, maybe he got off maybe 3 days off, and it's just the trip back, and then he decided to grow it. Maybe, but that's a long shot. I'm complaining about a movie. We should be complaining about wrestling.
Right. So, after the match, we go backstage with Sheamus and Orton. And Sheamus says that he will be in Randy Orton's corner in case of the Shield attacks.
I got you. He's pretty much wingmanning.
Mm-hmm.
Sheamus is pretty much wingmanning this one. But am I the only one who's seeing like they're trying to throw like some sort of bromance in there?
I think it's supposed to be like a rival sort of thing. Is like, I like to beat people up. And then Orton goes, yeah, I like to kick people in the skull.
He doesn't punch anybody in the head anymore. He just sneak attack RKOs.
Yeah, but it's what I'm trying to... Okay.
I know what you mean, dude.
Okay, so after that segment, we go to the awkward Jim Ross interview with Jack Swagger.
Oh, this... It just... Should we just put awkward... We're just gonna have to put awkward between everything that Jack Swagger is doing now.
Yes.
Because we've said it before, but this is one of the most uncomfortable angles it's ever been run.
Especially right with JR.
Especially right next to after things when you remember it. Like the big show with the big boss. The big boss man when his supposedly quote-unquote dad died.
Yeah. And the humongous megaphone that was on the cop car.
There's a reason that was called the worst feud of the year. Because it was just uncomfortable.
So
this somehow matches that.
So apparently, Alberto Del Rio is world champion because Jack Swagger left in September. Where Jack Swagger was a Raw guy, and Del Rio was still a SmackDown guy.
And I'm pretty sure Sheamus had the title at that point.
Yeah.
So, is he implying that not only Alberto Del Rio is a legal immigrant, but is also Sheamus? Could read it. You can read into a lot of things he's saying about this. Honestly, he's not outright calling them that, but
yeah. And he also states the World Heavyweight Champion should only belong to Americans.
I mean, yes. It's not like we have a U.S. championship that belongs to a Swiss guy. I mean, that just would be crazy.
Yeah, and I never heard of no country called Intercontinental.
That, or, the world doesn't. The world... What the hell is the world? It's only America! With Americans!
So, JR calls Swagger brainwashed, and that's when all hell breaks loose.
And then again, I go back to the thought that this angle would have been 10 times better, actually, if it was 10 years ago. Or at least, maybe 11 years ago, right after 9/11. It may have been in a bit distasteful as well, but you could actually have done some, really good commentary about the social mindset of the people in this modern era, people in that era with their state of mind.
Yeah, do I have to remind you about the JR love it or leave it tirades?
Oh. Yeah.
That's why this whole thing is awkward. So, anyways, moving on.
But then again, like we've said before, continuity only matters when it's 5 years in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there is no continuity within this show whatsoever.
Yeah.
There's only continuity when they bring it up.
Yeah, there's a major hole when you go 3 months ago to 5 years. There's a black hole of continuity. Off track.
But that's the sad part of it all.
So Swagger calls JR a sympathizer. Del Rio comes out and he calls Swagger a jackass, which he is.
Which, yeah, that's probably the most profane term. Not profane, right term to use at the moment.
Yeah.
Also hypocrite, but...
Yeah. So, okay. Now we got that out of the way. It's the Hell No Team Hell No versus Primetime Players. Kane is blindfolded. Daniel Bryan has one arm tied behind his back. And
shenanigans start again with Goatface.
Yes. There's...
Apparently, Daniel Bryan had a special mask for Kane that had a goat's face on it.
Yeah, so Kane was a goat face.
Though I do applaud Kane on this one angle. And I think this is brilliant. He pointed and the crowd answered yes or no.
Yeah, that's generally how these blindfold matches are supposed to go.
I'm sorry, that's brilliant in my mind.
Yeah.
And also that's somewhat devious as well, when you think about it. What if you get a crowd that's a bunch of assholes?
Well...
Well, what if it's a crowd full of us? And we're gonna be going when it points to the guy he's supposed to turn, we're going, no!
I would bring a whistle.
And then we'd all be chanting, millions of dollars! Millions of dollars!
Yeah,
millions of dollars!
in the crowd. Like on Raw, there was a couple guys in the back doing the millions of dollars dance. It's hilarious.
Oh, God. See, this is what happens when you get snarky bastards like us on shows that can't take snark like wrestling shows.
Yeah. Okay, so... out of sheer confusion with everything, the Primetime Players win. So they get the pinfall, and supposedly they're number one contenders at this point. Supposedly.
Well, they've been fighting each other on and off, so pretty much it's been, yeah, they're the only ones qualified. But then again, it seems like the tag team has been taking a real back seat. Mm-hmm. It's gone to low card status.
Yeah, which is sad.
Which is sad, but to be fair, there's not a lot they can do. I mean, after the whole Shelby thing and the Rhodes Scholars, that kind of hit its point.
Mm-hmm.
That just jumped the shark. We don't know what else to do.
Right. So Kane's pissed off, choke slams Daniel Bryan.
He uppercuts him.
Oh, uppercuts. Okay. Yeah. I watched this show. Next up, we have a movie promo for The Call. Once again, I'm going to tell you each and every time one of these things happened.
They've happened. Yes, I have a lot. And like I've said before, I'm just not interested in this movie. Honestly, I'm letting it pass for Dead Man Down because that kind of looks interesting. I mean, yes, it's kind of stock in its portrayal of, revenge. Yeah, it's a stock portrayal of revenge movies, but you could do something with that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next up, we go backstage with The Big Show. Backstage interview.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's there. He's in a match, the main event match, versus Randy Orton, and he goes, I want to choke slam Randy Orton.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's it.
It's there's not much to this. No. It's just pretty much a very blank promo, I guess is the word.
After that, we have Chris Jericho via Skype
Yeah, Skype. He's off. He's off in Australia playing with Fozzie.
Mm-hmm. Yes. What was it? Michael Cole asks, it's like the wee AM hours in Australia. And Jericho's like, yeah, it's like mid-afternoon.
Continuity. I was going to say, time frame, what the hell's that?
Yeah. So he's doing that thing because it's social media.
Actually, more. I think I find it funnier because, because I think of this joke every time that something like that comes up. Space and time is crap. I forget what the joke is. I ruined it.
Yes, ruined. Put a counter on it. Bing.
Damn it.
Okay, so then we go backstage with Fandango.
I was wondering if this guy was going to be heel or face. It's obvious he's heel now.
I'm loving it.
I'm pissed off at it. Because I'm always of the guilt of wrestle. That's my main set. This is a wrestling show. Yes, there's some storylines where you can't have pure wrestling. Fine, I get that. Where you have to get a little foot, you have to get a little pudding between your meat. Got it. But god damn it, we have been introducing this guy for what? The last 12 months?
Yeah.
It feels like almost a damn year.
And he says that he will not debut until people get his name right. Fandango.
And the only one who's able to get it right is freaking Jerry Lawler. He's doing it perfectly. And this is pissing me off to no degree of ends.
I love it.
Like I said before, if you're not here to wrestle and you're here to just be there, then what the hell are you doing? You are wasting my time that I could be watching wrestling in a wrestling show.
Main event time.
I mean, we could have had a jobber match in between. That would have been fine, but dear God.
Main event time. We have Randy Orton versus The Big Show. And Sheamus is absent from ringside.
I always figured he's just right outside in the gorilla pen area.
I know, but I'm thinking, oh yeah, right, I'm going to be in your corner if it doesn't show up.
I'm fine with that, because he's supposed to, you gotta hit when the music starts. You gotta make your big entrance.
I guess. So, okay, let's see. Mid-match, just skipping a whole bunch of stuff. Mid-match, the Shield comes down.
Actually, this is late match.
Oh,
this
late
is
match.
Pretty much end match.
End match,
End
okay.
of the match.
End of said match. So Shield comes down, then Sheamus comes out and insists, and everyone's getting beat up, and then Big Show punches
Reigns. Punches Reigns in the face.
Yeah. And then Shield
and then
leaves.
Shield leaves.
Yeah. And then
and then they just Big Show just punches Orton. Sheamus, bro kicks Big Show.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much the end of the match.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I went on a tangent a little while ago about wrestling in a wrestling show. But, there was some wrestling beforehand, so I'll let that go. But also this. There's also a stipulation in my thought track saying, if leading to something else and something bigger, this could be good. And this is what I see in this. It seems like to me, and I don't know if about you, Casey, but it seems like to me that Randy Orton and Sheamus are going to be are going to be partnering up with the Big Show, and it's going to be one of those situations of the heroes that we do not deserve, but the heroes we need.
Something like that. I'm thinking more along the lines of we have to come together to defeat this greater enemy, and we can't trust the Big Show, but we need him anyway.
Yeah, I could see that. But, you know, I'm going to go with, like, the other option, because I think they might be turning Big Show face. That might be an option, because, well, I think he's ran out of his heel stuff. I don't know. No, he's been a heel for about a few months now.
Well,
actually about a year. Since he
half
was...
a year.
At least half a year.
Yeah.
Since he's been fired from Laurinaitis, rehired by Laurinaitis, and has gone through, like, being, like, the big guy who's facing off against the World Championship guy. Or being the World Champion.
Mm-hmm.
And since Swagger's taken up that place, what do we do with him?
I don't know. Let's feed him to the Shield, I guess. Even though you have Ryback just sitting there.
I don't know. They might actually have something with the look that they gave on Raw. It might be going to a Ryback Mark Henry thing.
Yeah, which
but I get Mark Henry's a big guy, Ryback's a big guy. It's going to be a very slow match. But I could see something coming out of that. Optimistic. Being optimistic is all hell, but
I don't know. That just has trouble written all over it. Really. So, that was Smackdown.
It was
Yeah. It wasn't as bizarre as the normal Smackdown.
It wasn't as bizarre. There actually was some wrestling in it, which is shocking to me. But the weirdest thing was obviously the social media thing.
Mm-hmm.
Though I do have to admit that show that Jericho is on, the Robot League thing, that's actually kind of awesome. I saw that right after the SmackDown.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. It's pretty much Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
But it is kind of fun to watch. I do like stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So, let's go to the old school Monday Night Raw, where we are treated at the very beginning with a gong.
Ah, yes. Yes!
Yes. So, lights go out, gong, everyone's marking out like crazy, and out comes the dead man.
Here comes the Undertaker, and that awesome armor of his.
Yes, spikes everywhere.
I mean, that thing is right out of a 90s comic, but I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm. So the Undertaker, he does his raise arm thing.
He raises his arm, and he summons... I love how Why Rule of Time put this. He summons the WrestleMania sign.
Yeah.
He doesn't point to it. He summons it.
Yeah, he summons WrestleMania.
Pretty much, pretty much what you're getting from this is the Undertaker is throwing down the glove to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying, "Come at me."
Yeah. So then after that, we get a old school remix intro,
which was nice.
Yeah.
I actually liked the beginning. I think this was before or after that when they had like the WWE sign coming down in the classic logo fashion.
This was...
I'd say after.
Yeah, it was after. They did the old remix signature.
Yeah, that was actually cool. I actually do like the old look mix signature more than like the modern WWE look. Mm-hmm. But then again, that's it's appealing to my nostalgia.
Right. So we have the intro, which was nice. Personally, I don't like the original Raw music. I like the second version better than the first, but they go with the first because it's old school.
I could live or take with it.
Yeah. And I'm not talking Attitude Era. I'm talking the one before that.
Yeah, we're talking prime. I think we're talking like Glory Primetime 80s era when Hulk Hogan was still with the company.
No, I'm talking more the intro with everyone on the rooftop of Titan Towers.
Oh, okay.
That one. Whatever. So, out comes CM Punk. And he says...
With Paul Heyman, for some reason.
Still with Paul Heyman.
I don't get this.
Yeah, it's just... He's just there at this point.
It's like you could put a paper statue of him, and that's pretty much the same thing he's doing. He's being paid to stand there.
Yeah. And
it's just distracting.
So, Punk gets on the microphone, and he blames fans for not being at WrestleMania. He says there's no point to going to WrestleMania.
And here is... I've griped on CM Punk's performances the past years or so. I know he's supposed to be the bad guy. I know he's supposed to push my buttons. But good lord. This passes just like basic evilness into whiny.
Yeah.
He sounds like Superboy Prime in fucking Countdown to Final Crisis. Oh yeah! I went there.
Yeah.
He pretty much is saying, you guys are all meanies and you should stop, so I'm gonna take everything away from you. And I know. It's supposed to be a part of his old school persona, as Casey has told me.
Yeah. Old school.
But was it always that whiny?
No, it wasn't that whiny. I'm just talking more of the straight on. I'm gonna beat The Undertaker because I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I'm straight edge.
That I'm fine with. My problem is he's blaming the audience for losing. He's being, it's a sore loser thing, and I know that's supposed to be what the bad guys are supposed to be. They're supposed to be sore losers. They're supposed to be distrustful. They're supposed to be ugly and hated and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I'm sorry, it just comes off as whining in my ears.
Yeah, it is. It's supposed to be whining. I mean, this isn't like his CM Punk's indie days with the "your parents are gonna die" sort of thing.
And I don't put up with whining. Not for my heroes. Especially not for my villains. I do not put up with whining, period. If anybody asks, Neon Genesis Evangelion is the worst anime ever! And that's the reason why. Whiny. I hate whiny people.
Okay. So he challenges The Undertaker, then Randy Orton comes up and says, I was so close to beating The Undertaker, and I was a rookie. That's all I got.
Yeah, pretty much, because I'm better now. Because I'm awesome. And then, I should face off against The Undertaker.
And then Big Show comes out. He goes, I almost beat The Undertaker too, but now I'm a boxer, and I don't have Albert, messing me up. I mean Tensai, I mean Albert, I mean whoops. That match at WrestleMania 19 was just bad. So,
and then Sheamus comes out, and probably he has the most logical reason. Dude, the rest of you fought Undertaker and lost. I'm the only one who hasn't fought him yet. I'm going to go against him because I think I have the better chance than the rest of you.
Mm.
And to be fair, he's logical there.
Yeah. So then Vicky interrupts. He goes, "Hold on. We can settle this in a fatal 4-way match later tonight." Hey, old school.
Yay, old school! Did we mention this was old school? Because it was old school, totally.
But this is totally a old school moment where arguments would be settled.
Okay, I like that. That's the one thing I do like, is that it actually is it's actually building up to something.
Yes, it's like they don't do this anymore, but as recent as like 2004, it's like, oh, we need a number one contender. Let's set up a match for a number one contendership. Boom. We'll find out.
Yeah, I think that more is an offset of how they're doing like story-driven things.
And you don't do that now.
No, you don't do that anymore. I think that, but then again, that's more or less the mindset of like an older fashion type of matches. Is like, we don't, it doesn't do it because the script says so. We do it because we want to see a wrestling and build up to something.
Yeah.
Which I think is actually much better because you get 2 matches out of it. Yeah. You get the match to face off, see who faces off, and then you get the match to see the face off. And that's sort of what I liked about the CM Punk John Cena thing, is it was a prequel to a match that was yet to come. It was building to something. Yeah. And I can live with that.
Okay, so let's see, where was it? Oh yeah. Okay, first match of the night. Antonio Cesaro versus Ryback. This match, I don't know, I enjoyed it.
There were things there that worked. It definitely was a match.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't jobber, by no ways meaning, and I was fine with that, but there was just something there that just didn't feel 100% right. I'd say it's an match. It was an average match. I'd give it them.
So the finish goes the major uppercut to the neutralizer. Cesaro was like really excited. He's like, yeah, I got him. I'm going to put him in the neutralizer right away. Like you're going to win a match. And Ryback goes, nope. Gets him with the shell shocked.
We're kind of burying kind of burying that title with that.
No, I don't. Well, Ryback is supposed to be upper card.
I know, but still.
But hey, it wasn't a job out.
At least it wasn't a job out. At
like
least
the
it
next
was a
match.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so then Mark Henry comes over right away, stares down Ryback.
And this is probably like the only reason why the Mark Henry match is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're setting something up with those two.
So
That's my only logic.
Mark Henry has a match with Zack Ryder, who changed his ring gear to a button on his trunks that says "Push Me." I have a feeling, and I bet you feel it too, Zack Ryder is going to get released after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He's done.
Yeah, he's had his fun.
Yeah. He's at that point where he's whining even more than before his True Long Island IZ story thing.
Yeah, I think he's probably just going to go pure internet at this point.
Yeah, so Zack Ryder jobs like a bitch.
Oh yeah, he jobs out faster than anybody else I've seen in a while.
I mean, there's jobbing, and there's no offense jobbing.
Yeah, there's like you said, there's jobbing, and then there's getting the shit kicked out of you.
Yeah, so see you later, bye.
Oh, poor Zack Ryder.
Well, I think his problem was the old Hulk Hogan storyline where Hogan has a new buddy, and the new buddy gets a push until management gets sick of him or Hogan gets sick of him, and then they drop him.
Oh. He's the aftermath, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, I watched some OSW, old school wrestling podcast, and they do the Hulkamania pay-per-views. And they were mentioning how Tugboat was Hogan's new mate, because they're Irish, whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, you get a push, and then Hogan gets sick of you, and then you drop off the face of the earth.
Yeah. Though I do think that it's kind of stupid to let go of a guy, and probably not, try to at least keep him as like internet show going and have him employed that way. That probably would be a better idea, because you still get your entertainment, and you can promote your material.
Yeah, but his show's not even on anymore, and his roommate Chiappetta didn't continue his show either.
Yikes. Wow, I didn't know that hill was that steep down.
I mean, the Chiappetta show went to, like, summer, and then he took summer off and never returned.
Christ.
And don't get me started with the Big O.
I think we should move on. This is starting to get really depressing.
Third match of the night, Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz.
Dolph Ziggler, continuing his theme. Can't even win with assistance.
Right. The match starts out with the mic not working because we're going old school.
Why not?
Just want to point that out. Ric Flair is in the Miz's corner.
Yay! Actually, yeah. Yay for this one, simply because, well, seeing Ric Flair act insane is always its own flavor.
Mm-hmm. So AJ and Big E try to distract. It doesn't work. Ric Flair goes crazy on Big E, slaps him a few times, and it doesn't work.
Naturally.
And Flair goes, "Oh! Right away!"
He does his distraction thing. Miz freaking, like, baseball slides him in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And still somehow wins the match.
Yeah, via tap out. So Ziggler taps. Ziggler's going to do a lot of tapping because Ziggler won the Twitter poll on Smackdown, which we didn't mention because it's stupid. He's going to face Alberto Del Rio.
Oh. I'd feel bad for Dolph Ziggler. But before this match began in the previews, he knocked a guy's paper out of his hand. Yeah, I don't feel bad for you. You're a douche.
Mm-hmm. Up next, we have...
My contemptiveness is fulfilled.
Okay. So up next, we have The Rock and John Cena point-counterpoint segment.
This was just a promo.
Yeah. But they're face-to-face, and I guess that's what all that matters. So, The Rock...
It wasn't... Oh, sorry, you continue.
Okay, so The Rock talks about how cold it is outside, and that's when John Cena interrupts. And John Cena thinks that The Rock didn't fail at anything in his life, which is false.
Yeah, his movie career ain't that good, dude.
I was talking more of the Canadian Football League incident. Where The Rock got cut from the Canadian Football League.
But then again, that's Canadian football. Who counts that?
I know, but it's something. John Cena goes, "Oh, you've conquered everything. You never failed. I failed at WrestleMania, and I'm gonna piss and moan about it, and I'm gonna beat you because I think I can beat you."
It pretty much was, you are... I think he was just referring to wrestling in its own sense.
I guess, but he mentioned Hollywood.
I think it's more things you want to be cheerful and knowing about.
Alright. And Cena continues...
There's no...
He says he wants to rewrite history. He needs to win the match. And he quotes Tyson. And then The Rock quotes Lance Armstrong and says, "You're both full of crap." Isn't that funny? Rock.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I also remembered, like, somebody making a comment on Twitter about Rock making fun of Lance Armstrong because of steroid abuse. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna touch that one with a 10-foot pole.
Mm-hmm. How about with a 2x4?
Talking about segways.
Yes. Fourth match of the night: Jack Swagger versus Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yay!
With Sergeant Slaughter and the American
Dusty Rhodes.
Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
And yes, we get the point of what... Do you see the point of this argument and what this is supposed to be about?
Yeah. Well, okay. To set the stage, we have the supposed real American Jack Swagger versus possibly the most patriotic three legends currently on the Legends contract.
I don't know about Sergeant Slaughter. He said he agreed with what He agreed with what Saddam Hussein was doing, after all, for a while, remember?
Yeah, but a few months later, he changed his ways. So it's all good.
Plus, he's on G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Yeah.
G.I. Joe always wins. That's why in their new movie, the president turns over the entire world to Cobra Commander.
Okay, so...
Whoops.
Spoilers.
Speaking about The Rock.
So Jack Swagger takes the 2x4 from Hacksaw and starts beating on everyone. Match never got started.
I'm pretty sure the bell rung.
Or something. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it rung, because I remember people saying that. I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure remember hearing the bell ring.
And the announcer seemed pretty upset at this because, A, Swagger is, like, offensive now. B, he just beat up a bunch of legends with a foreign object. And C, the match never started.
Honestly, it's just to push it for the evils.
Yeah.
It's pretty much showing that Jack Swagger is a giant douche.
Yeah.
We're just going full 9 with all this.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone into uncomfortable territory, douchey territory. What's the next thing Jack Swagger can do? Kick puppies.
Yes.
Beat up babies.
And then drape an American flag on it. No, wait, no. The Don't Tread on Me flag.
Exactly.
Okay, so after that, speaking of America, we got another Marine 3 promo. And then...
I'm pretty sure it was the same damn promo I saw.
It was. But we're going to mention it.
God damn it, Casey. Why do you have to?
Because I'm annoyed by him and I'm going to annoy everyone else with him.
Thank you for that little prize.
And then,
see, this is what I have to live with.
Yep. Okay, then we go backstage with Swagger, and then Coulter's all like, yeah, you beat up 3 guys, and then suddenly Del Rio attacks.
I'm pretty sure he bitch slapped Jack Swagger. I didn't have my face. I wasn't looking at the TV at the time.
Yeah, and then he leaves. Yay.
No, they get split up by, like, the security guys and other people.
So it's getting heated.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Fifth match. Team Hell No versus Primetime Players. With the $1 Million Man at ringside.
I'd have to say, Ted DiBiase looks really good for his age.
Ha ha ha. Yes.
And he does age well. He's a fine wine. I will give him that.
Yes. And this is pretty standard match.
Yeah, pretty much the entire thing was the Primetime Players say that they want the $1 Million Man out. Not to see, because they're all about the millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And they get their asses whipped.
Mm-hmm. And then... Afterwards, Ted DiBiase takes a $100 bill, sticks it down Darren Young's throat. Yes. And then Daniel Bryan comes up and takes the $100 bill.
Wouldn't you? It's $100.
Oh yeah, definitely. Man, I could eat on that for a month. Good stuff. Up next, we have a match. We have a match,
apparently.
Brodus Clay and Tensai versus the
Bullet had some new treads.
Yeah, it doesn't really fit all that well. Versus the 3-man band with the Honky Tonk Man.
No, the Honky Tonk Man was with Brodus Clay.
Right.
The way you put it was 3-man band with the Honky Tonk Man.
Well, the Honky Tonk Man was just there.
Yeah, he didn't wrestle at all.
No, he didn't even sing, get on the mic, or anything, really.
All he did was just dance.
Yeah, he did his shuffle. The Honky Tonk Shuffle.
That, and he broke a guitar over Heath Slater's head.
Yeah. Which...
I'm not sure if he did that in the past, but...
He did that sometimes, but not too often. I mean, the one who really
It wasn't
did that,
Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, it was Jarrett who really did that. But hey, whatever. We can laugh at Jeff Jarrett all night long.
Yeah. I laugh at him all the time.
Oh,
he still thinks he's important.
Segue. Let's stop here for a second. And I watched TNA last week, too.
Oh, goody. I don't watch TNA because my sanity is razor thin as it is.
I saw the opening segment, and apparently Bubba Ray, a.k.a. Bully Ray, is a face, who apparently is now married to Hulk Hogan's daughter, Brooke, is like, he's going to face Jeff Hardy for the title, which Jeff Hardy has two belts.
I'm surprised Jeff Hardy is still alive.
Yeah. Jeff Hardy has 2 belts. He has the actual world title belt and his own world title belt. He brings both of them out to the ring.
You mean his Divas title belt?
Yeah. And they talk about how they're going to face each other at Lockdown, and they're like, hey, yeah, this is going to be a great match, but I wouldn't have chosen me. You know, it was Hulk that did it, and we got these aces and eights coming after us, which is led by his brother Devon. And then comes out 2 guys, and one of them is like a really skinny Damien Sandow without a beard and a cocktail. I'm just like, oh, I can't take much more of this. Then I turned the channel.
See, there's a reason why I don't watch TNA. I think there's a reason for many people not to watch TNA, but there you go.
Yeah. And I made a post on Twitter saying I could predict the future. Bully Ray is going to beat Jeff Hardy, turn heel, side with his brother, and run TNA. And it'll be a big coup, because we haven't seen that before.
Yeah, they love their coups over there in TNA.
Yeah, it's almost like you marry the boss's daughter and now run things.
That sounds familiar.
Right. Let's see, where were we? Oh yeah, Dead Man Down premiere promo. Back to Raw.
Seen it before.
I fast forward. Match number 7, Kofi Kingston versus Fandango. Which doesn't happen. Because
Do you see why I'm getting pissed off at this guy?
I just love saying the name.
I don't give a shit about your name.
Go.
If you're supposed to be a little... You are officially, in my book, the weeniest heel of all time. You are a weenie, 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 weenie. If you don't even want to fucking compete in a wrestling show before somebody says your name.
Yep.
How am I supposed to take this guy seriously? How am I supposed to say that this guy is a major threat when he's a ballroom dancer? And yes, I think ballroom dance... And I love how this came up in Smackdown. It's like, he said like, I mastered the world of ballroom dancing. I want to take that to the ring. Because, dancing and wrestling are so similar.
You can argue.
Yes, I could argue that. You could also argue dancing as a martial arts. I say bullshit to your shenanigans, but... I say bullshit, but in the end, that's just me. Mm-hmm. I'm still pissed off, though. Because this weenie, this guy who is a dancer, not that intimidating, to be quite honest. All he does is say his name, and I'm supposed to take him seriously or something. I don't know what to feel about this guy. All I can feel is, you, sir, are a weenie. And I will keep on calling him Mr. Weenie from now on.
Mr. Weenie. Mr. Weenie Fandango.
No, he's just Mr. Weenie in my book. He doesn't even deserve to have his name talked about.
Okay. Up next, we have Triple H. Hey, I expected to write more notes about this, but that didn't happen.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
He goes to Lesnar, "We're not done yet."
Pretty much it went to, "I want to beat the crap out of you still."
At WrestleMania. You better show up. WrestleMania.
Pretty much that, yeah. And I just killed my voice saying that. Thank you.
And apparently Stephanie is on Twitter now. All eyes on not Triple H Twitter account to see how long that lasts. Parody accounts. Aren't they awesome? Mm-hmm. Up next, video package from The Shield. They have a response. Basically, they go, you shouldn't focus on The Undertaker. Well, you can focus on us instead because we're invincible.
Because we're invincible. And we can't put... And meanwhile, they're saying this with the freaking camera right up in their faces.
Nom, 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 nom.
You're literally almost... Dean Ambrose literally has his mouth covering the entire face. He's literally eating the camera.
Yes.
And I'm yelling at these idiots, get a tripod! I have two! Here, I'll lend one out to you. Just sit that shit down!
Believe in the tripod.
I've said a lot of things about Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger. At least they have a tripod!
They have a green screen and a tripod.
They're far more advanced than these guys, and more sensible at that matter.
Okay. Next up, we have a champion versus champion match. Wade Barrett versus Alberto Del Rio. With Jack Swagger scouting from the ramp. Barrett does what he's good to do, or born to do, whatever. He taps out. Yay.
It was an alright match. I mean, nothing this time around was great. A lot of alright matches.
Next up, Coulter's Corner. I'm continuing with that. It's on political correctness. And basically, he goes, if someone breaks into your house, you call him a thief. I wasn't aware. I was not aware that there's a political correct term for thief and burglary.
Reprimander and different distribution employee, I think is the word, or something like that.
Oh, okay. Well, so much for that. Next up.
I mean, that makes him right after all. I mean, he's a hypocrite and all that, saying that he wouldn't break into other people's houses and call them thieves. Meanwhile, you could argue that Jack Swagger's doing that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, it's not like America is full of hypocrisy now and then.
Next up, we have another match. The New Age Outlaws. They're back in action. 13 years. Wow. As they face Primo and Epico.
Yeah, right. This is just a one-off match. Yeah. Don't get your hopes up.
Oh. Billy Gunn pulls off the victory with the Famouser. Shades of Dolph Ziggler. Except he actually wins a match.
Actually, no, this is more shades of... This is supposed to be Dolph Ziggler is supposed to be a badass Billy Gunn, but he's not pulling it off quite right.
I know. That's the joke. Also, Billy Gunn, maybe you should do something with that hair or something. Maybe wear a bandana or something, because that hairline.
I know. He's getting old, man. Sooner or later, you gotta just say screw it.
Okay.
Or you could do what the Road Dogg does, just shave your head.
Yeah. I mean, he used to have dreads. Yeah,
I knew that, but actually he kind of looks more awesome now with just the shaved head and the goatee.
Okay, so up next, we have the Mae Young 90th birthday segment with Mean Gene Okerlund.
Yay! I was wondering when they would get his ass out of here.
And as everyone's singing happy birthday, out comes your favorite villain, CM Punk.
Now, here's the weird thing. I've heard this online and saying, CM Punk, I agree with CM Punk. Why the hell would you have a party right before the match? Still, you seem a bit petty. Just interrupting a birthday ceremony.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't go randomly off into birthday ceremonies and just walk past everything, interrupting it with my own music and then say, do something about it. And that's another part I have with the problem with this. Why doesn't anybody jump his ass?
I know. You have the entire locker room.
We have the entire locker room out there, and they're just looking at him like, dude, that's not cool, man. You have freaking Mark Henry out there, and he's doing jack shit. I figured he'd be the first one to say, hey, what the hell are you doing, fool? And yes, he speaks like Mr. T in my voice, in my head.
All I hear is, eat 'em up, tasty snack, tasty snack.
Well, you can't do that. There were a lot of cupcakes around, man. Actually, I do have to be fair, though. That setup was actually very nice.
Oh, yeah.
It's good to see Mae Young still kicking around. Jesus Christ.
And there's a photo backstage with Triple H and Vince handing Mae Young a Divas title belt.
Aww. That's nice.
Yeah. So
that's nice.
Good stuff. Main event time. CM Punk, Sheamus. Go ahead.
Though I do have to say this one thing before the match starts. He yells, "Do something about it!" at the crowd. I'm just thinking, I'm waiting for that day when somebody is actually gonna do something. That, or I'm convinced that there is a no hurting the wrestler's clause in that ticket whenever you buy it for a live show.
Yeah. Well, there was that one time, and we covered this a long time ago, where the fan punched Punk. Let's see, in the stands.
He
got pushed.
No, Punk. Fan pushed him. Punk punched him in the glasses.
The wrong guy. He punched the wrong guy.
No, I'm just. If that's the case, I will just jump the fucker and beat the shit out of him.
I know.
But then again, that's me. I'm a psychotic madman.
It was a very precarious, very dangerous situation because people were drunk and they were going, "Oh, let's push him over." You don't want to deal with drunks. Yeah. Okay, so main event time: CM Punk, Sheamus, Orton, and The Big Show. Fatal 4-way match to face The Undertaker.
The Undertaker?
The Undertaker. Go one-on-one with The Undertaker. Okay.
This was pretty much
a fatal 4-way.
Yeah, it was a fatal 4-way. It started out with two guys exited the ring. Actually, 3 guys exited out of the ring. CM Punk got thrown back in the ring, and then we just watched as 2 guys beat up on each other, then 2 other guys beat up on each other, then 2 other guys beat up on each other. It's a fatal.
Yeah. CM Punk is sneaky, and then he gets beat up for it, and then let's see, we go bro kick. Oh wait,
it's bro
kick.
No, it's WMD, bro kick, RKO, and then GTS.
Yeah. And CM Punk is going to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Wow, I did not see that one coming.
Oh. And then The Undertaker, he comes down and he goes
I do have to admit, CM Punk right at the end gives really good evil eyes.
Yeah.
That was kind of creepy.
Like this guy can actually do it.
Mm-hmm. I'll give him that. He can do evil eyes.
And there's a Undertaker stare down as we close the show.
Pretty much setting up for WrestleMania.
Yep. We got 3 matches confirmed for WrestleMania on this. Okay. 2 definitely confirmed new matches for WrestleMania. Triple H, Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, Undertaker. For probably
Rock and Cena.
Well, yeah, the Rock and Cena, that was already confirmed. Alberto Del Rio, Jack Swagger, I guess Mark Henry, Ryback, and Kane and Daniel Bryan, probably.
I'd say there's a Divas match in there somewhere.
Yeah, Caitlyn will be like, "Hey, remember me? I'm the champion." And then Tamina's all like, "Oh, no, it'll be Eve." No, damn it. The girl with the infinity on her belt, Layla.
I don't know. I don't honestly care. But usually the Divas get thrown in somehow.
Mm-hmm.
This might be the first year they screw Divas title. We're just gonna show it
in a lingerie pillow fight.
Or actually, that might be a prequel match. Like that's gonna be like a pre-show match. Is the Divas Championship, and then we get that out of the way so we can actually enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah.
But my main complaints, as I say, Punk is too whiny for my taste. Sooner or later, if he keeps this up, somebody's going to throw something big and heavy at him. Mm-hmm. Possibly me. Because I do not put up with whiny people. And be hopeful it's not a beer. Be glad it's not a beer bottle. Because I could pull out the throwing axes, and I am really good at the throwing axe. And I don't think anybody wants that.
No.
Oh, by the way, I'm joking.
Yeah, totally joking here. Anything we say is purely for entertainment, all that good stuff, blah, 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 blah.
You'll trust me. You'll know when I'm serious.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so that was SmackDown and Raw. And we'll continue doing this live thing where people will...
This is a new experience for me as well.
Yes.
Sadly, the one thing that I do not like about it is that we have no intro. I can't hear the intro.
No, I'll send you the intro.
Yay!
And we will see you next week. Right here.
Right here?
Right here. Right here. On the Sunset Flip Wrestling Podcast.